Friends, hi, and how are you doing on this exciting new day today? It's beautiful out, it's warm. We're so happy and blessed that it's a nice warm day as we're closing into the end of summer. I just want to bring you some encouraging words today, words of life and encouragement. Spirit has really been pulling in my heart today to bring some Spirit messages for you today. So that is what I'm doing. I'm connecting to Spirit for you today to use some cards to pull some messages for you from the Spirit that you've been asking for. You're in the middle of many changes, a lot of things happening. Seasons are changing. We're getting ready to move into a time of fall, which is letting go. Fall means letting things fall off. So everything is changing. People are moving, situations moving on, relationships changing. So I just want to speak some life to you today, some encouraging words. And I'm going to be using these cards called Earth Magic, because the earth is magical, number one, and it's always speaking to us. There's always signs in the heavens and in the earth, and how beautiful it is. It manifests to us all the time. As we sow seed into it, it brings forth life and gives us life and bounty, okay? So it's about this magical earth, magical elements that we live in. So I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to draw 3 cards, one for the first of this week, one for toward the end of the middle of the week, which we're almost there, and one for the end of the week. Or if you feel that this is your journey. If you feel Spirit is drawing you, this is what's going on for you right now, today, tomorrow, and the next day, that's cool too. Whatever you feel. There's no real right or wrong. It's just a Spirit message just for you today. So that's what this is all about. So I'm shuffling these cards, and I'm going to pull these messages out for you. And there we go. And one more. And there we go. Okay, I've got the messages now, and we're ready to read them. The first one that Spirit has given me is tsunami. Wake-up call. Let's see what the book says about this. You are getting a wake-up call. It may be in the form of a significant loss or a dramatic event in your life, typically one that you are not prepared for. You may feel stunned or surprised by this unexpected event that's occurring, yet also know that it's time to draw back the curtain of avoidance and denial and confront the truth that exists. You are experiencing a real-life drama, so there's no need to amplify it more than it really already is. Often when you look back after something like this has passed, you can recall signs that foreshadow its happening. There may have been obvious clues that you've ignored or omens, at the same time seeking higher ground for spiritual truth. So this is Spirit calling you to a higher place, that there's some stuff happening in your life. There is a tsunami is very powerful. As we know, all the hurricanes has been happening. I think it's not by chance that this card came forth, because as in the natural, so in the spirit. So there's a lot of energy creating this emotion, and this and water is a type of emotion, and it's moving so powerfully. So a lot of you are going through a lot emotionally. So Spirit wants you to know it's time to get to higher ground. That means put your mind in a higher place, go to a higher thought place, connect to the divine, connect to Christ consciousness, and pray and come into a higher place so that you can make it through, and you get direction how to make it through this place, okay? So that's number 1. Very powerful, very powerful. Number 2 card is winter solstice, is a time of reflection. Isn't this amazing? It's amazing. The tsunami, and the second card Spirit has given us is called winter solstice. And what are we coming into? We're going into fall, and then fall is leading us into a time of winter. Which is very interesting. Let me see what the book says about this time. It's a time of reflection, and I think that parallels with the card we just got too. The midpoint of winter is not usually the shortest day of the year, but the longest night. The world is very still and the land is very dormant. We have celebrated it for thousands of years. This image portrays a simple yet powerful representation of the winter solstice. We see a clear reflection of the snowy woods, the frozen lakes, the blue tent drapes of the scenes of a greater sense of quiet and solstice, inviting us to walk softly, lest we disturb the gentle grace of this scene. So this is calling you to review the past year and ask yourself, what is the most important lessons you have had to learn? What have you accomplished, and what dreams and visions you want to manifest in the next year? Whether it's been a smooth ride or challenging, acknowledge your experiences being a work of the source. No matter what your judgments, fears, and joys are, honor what has happened over the last year, and then let it go. Give gratitude and forgiveness. So this is all about you coming into your place, your time of reflection. And this is what's coming up for us. So we are on a wake-up call with the tsunami, and now we're coming into a time of reflection. Very powerful. And our last card is the ancestors, the generations. And this is all about the ancestors, about those, your ancestors. It's about those that have gone before you, and that you need to remember the path they walked. And that Spirit is calling you back to acknowledging that path for different reasons. Let me look it up real quick. And then we will go from there. You have within you the blood of your ancestors. You are deeply connected to your lineage. The most immediate proof of that is the physical resemblance that you have to your mother and father, perhaps grandparents. Yet beyond that, although unknown to your usual senses, you are connected to an ancestry that goes back through millennia. This is a time to call upon those ancestors who are of your bloodline, as well as the ancient ones. In many indigenous cultures, it's believed that the essence of your ancestors inhabit many of the physical aspects of the land. In other words, they are in the trees, the water, the animals, the stones, and their blood being the very dirt and sand that we walk on. Next time you're outside, allow your senses to open to your ancestors who abide in this physical realm. And any time at all, allow your heart to open to those spirits to whom you are related through your heritage, and those whom you are connected by virtue of the land that you stand upon. So this is about reconnecting to your ancestors, to the generations. So this is some really good cards that Spirit has given you today. And I want to recap a little bit about the tsunami. It's time for a wake-up call. Go to higher ground in your consciousness. Step up to a higher place. If you've been feeling drawn to connect to spiritual people, to connect to church, get in there. Make that connection. It's time to connect to a higher plane because some water is moving. Things are moving for you. Then the next thing, reflect. It's time to reflect. The winter solstice, it's on its way, the natural one. But this is also a spiritual type of time of reflection for you. And I started this off by talking about letting things fall away. And the last but not least, our ancestors. Remember the ancestors and allow them to speak to you. They're all around you. They're with you. They love you. I love you. Thanks for spending these moments with me. www.destinywords.org. Please, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. Please make connection with me. I'd love to meet you and do some work with you, whatever you need, and give you some personal spirit messages, okay? So have a blessed day. Love you. See you next week. Have a fantastic, beautiful, beautiful day. Love you so much.